Okay, as usual, how many chapters have we completed?
Then
Nine. Real numbers, polynomials, linear equation, quadratic equation, coordinate geometry, triangles, trigonometry, AP, and what is one more? Circles. So, yeah. Okay, nine chapters have been completed. Going ahead further to the 10th chapter. Further to the 10th chapter. What is this? Probability. What is the probability? Guessing whether this guy is in class 10th or in class 11th. Okay. Whether one wears spectacles or not. Okay, what is the probability? Yes. Okay. So, this is okay. So now, there's a bit theory behind the chapter probability. The initial few one or two pages you write stories of it. Okay. So we'll start again with probability. Voice ಬರ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಇಂದು ಬುಕ್ ತರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಸ್ಕೂಲಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಇವಾಗ ಇರುತ್ತೆ Okay, start. There are different approaches to probability. The very first approach we will take it as theoretical approach. Theoretical approach. Okay. Write down. Suppose a coin is tossed. Suppose a coin is tossed at a random. The coin can only land in at a random. The coin can only land in two. Suppose a coin is tossed at a random. The coin can only land in two possible ways. What are the two possible ways? What are the two possible ways? Either head up or tail up. Either head up or tail up. Okay? Full stop. This is one of the theoretical approach. The second point under the theoretical approach is rolling the dice. Yes? So now suppose we throw a dice. Suppose we throw a dice once. So once we tell it, if we are throwing a dice once, we are referring to a pair dice which has 6 different faces. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 different faces will be there. No? We are referring to that pair dice. Yes? Probability. What can you see on the board? When did you go back? ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಂತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಯಾರಿಗೆ what are you eating? Are you eating gum? Are you eating gum? Are you eating gum? Get out. Get out. Get out. Sorry, sir. Stay there until I call you.
No, sir. Just do.
We are considering it to be a fair dice. Then the outcomes will be either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. These are the possible outcomes, right? Yes, write it down. Suppose we throw a dice once, then the possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, 6. Showing up. Okay?
Showing
up. Idalva, when you roll it, that is what is matters, alva. Yes, in the dice when you roll, whatever comes on the top is the value you will be considering. Showing up. Next. When we speak about a coin, we assume it to be fair. Okay? That is, it is symmetrically so that there is no reason to come down. There is no reason for it to come down. More often on one side than the other. Andrea, when I mean it a fair coin, it should show both the outcomes. It's not like it always shows head. It always shows tail. Those kinds of coin are not being considering here for probability. That is what I mean by this statement. Clear?
Sir, more often to the one side.
More often on the one side than the other. Who is wearing slippers out here?
Oh, so
You can come out. You can leave it down and come back. Yes, from the next class you will leave it down and come back. Yeah, there are so many out there. Whoever have left, please go. I'll wait. Okay. Next. We call the property of the coin. Full stop. We call the property of the coin to be unbiased.
sir, spelling sir.
UNBIASE.
He asked me to. I'm writing it on it. We call the property of the coin to be unbiased. Okay? What is the meaning of biased and unbiased? There is no sort of cheating in that coin. That is what it means by unbiased. Okay. By the phrase, full stop, by the phrase random toss.
By the phrase.
Phrase random
Sir,
toss.
Sir, charge in this. Charge.
By the phrase random toss. Okay? Comma. We mean that the coin is allowed to fall freely. We mean that the coin is allowed to fall freely without any bias or interference. Without any bias and interference. Why? You have to leave place, continue whatever I am telling. In next to no bariyalva.
Many things, sir.
What are you saying at this bit? We'll start with the general formula.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. P is voila.
This formula is given by Fries, the experimental. If they ask you to find the experimental, or what is the other name? What is the other name?
Theory.
Empirical. You people have learned something called as mole concept in chemistry?
No.
1 mole is equal to so. You would have learned about empirical formula calculation. So you people have learned. Okay. Or empirical formula. Or rather, I will clear the word to be more specific. Experimental or empirical probability. Okay, we can tell it that way, no, rather than formula. Formula holds good for everything. Okay, experimental formula is for everything. But if it is probability, it only holds good for the number of events. Okay, so experimental probability. Empirical or experimental probability, that is given by the term P of E, where or I will try to explain it like this. Empirical probability P of E of an event E is okay equal to, what does that mean? P of E is probability of the event. Okay, like tossing a coin is an event, rolling the dice is an event, right? So probability of that event is given by the formula. What is it? Number of trials in which the event happened. Number of trials in which the event happened. The whole divided by the number of trials in which the event happened divided by total number of trials. Total number of trials. Any doubts? Anyone got the formula? Okay, so here you learn the new formula, add it over to the formula book and start writing this formula in the formula sheet. Today morning I haven't collected the formula sheet, now I will be collecting before the class ends.
Should write it, sir.
No, this shouldn't be involved. Don't include this. You have not written. Don't write.
What, sir?
Okay.
What do you mean? No, but
Next. This is all about the experimental approach. Okay, this is by an experiment. What if it is a theoretical approach? There are two types of approach you would have done. Experimentally, you would be getting some value. Theoretically, by assumptions, you will be getting some values. Right? Understand Valvita? Did it right? So, here that is an experimental probability. So, next is the theoretical. It's not just a board gazing. Theoretical. The theoretical probability, okay, of an event E is written as, again P of E only. Now you people might ask me, sir, what is the difference between that P of E, this P of E? So P of E refers to probability of events. Either let it be theoretical or let it be experimental. The probability remains the same, right? Yes. Theoretically, in a milk packet, they would have written half liter of milk. Experimentally, when you check it also on a weighing machine, it also shows it as half liter, or a cylinder in which you measure it. It also shows it as half liter. So, end of the show, the probability of the event is the same, right? Yes. Yes, no doubts? Okay. So, it can be defined as, I'll write it over here, P of E is equal to, remember this formula is very important, wherein whatever we write now, this formula is very important, wherein we use this again and again in different parts of the chapters. Okay, this is more important for your MCQs as well, for tackling problems based on probability. Number of favorable outcomes. Number of favorable outcomes whole divided by the number of possible outcomes. Number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes. In Vedam, why are you so much suffering? Turning back. Is there any issue sitting there? ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿ ದಾಖಲೆ ಸಹಿತ ಕೂರಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಪೇಪರ್ನ. Okay, so what does this mean? Number of favorable outcomes are equal. Like out of the coin or dice, I will consider for this. In a dice, when you roll, you getting 3 on top of it. Will be only once, right? 1 out of the 6 numbers, right? So 1 out of the 6 numbers is 3. So number of favorable outcomes is 1. The number of possible outcomes. What are the possible outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 possible outcomes. So the event of getting the 3 on a dice, okay, is nothing but 1 by 6. Yes, you can get only once out of the 6 outcomes. It is one of the outcomes is 3. Yes, that is what this means. Any doubts in the formulas? Yes. You will get 3 only once. You don't have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and consider one. You will get 2 ones, 3 ones, 4 ones, all of them only one time you will get. So number of times, that is favorable outcomes means number of times you get it. Get it? Now, clear right now? Okay. Now, can we move on with the first example? Do you all have NCRT? Do you have NCRT? Why are you still in the class?
Sir, teacher took.
Why? How can you think one day class will be science?
No, sir, teacher took, sir. School teacher.
What? Where is your maths class work?
Sir, it's
Where is your maths class work?
Sir, it's
Over.
Over. Where is yours? Over.
No, sir.
Complete Arvind.
Yes, sir.
Wednesday morning it should be completed.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Is it clear? First column, second column. I clear it.
Yes, sir.
Let's start with the examples.
Yes, sir.
A no no. What is your no?
Sir, the t-shirt, sir. The shirt memory. I think it's
Yes. Next. Can we start? Example number 1. Example number 1. What is it? Find the probability getting head. That question?
Yes, sir.
Find the probability of getting a head. When a coin is tossed once, full stop. Also find the probability of getting a tail. Okay. So for any probability related questions, we have to write a few given data from the questions. So that is a sequence you have to follow. For all the questions, this is the formula. So stop writing. First you observe. Within like that. So what is the random experiment? What is the random experiment we are considering? Tossing the coin, right? We then select something called as S. What is S? S refers to sample space. Okay? If you people don't know, please make a note what is S refers to. S refers to something called as sample space. S refers to something called as sample space. Just like capitals. Okay? So sample space for tossing the coin are basically the outcomes. What are all outcomes which will come? Possible outcomes. Okay? So for one coin tossing, what is it? One is head, one is head, one more is tail. Right? These are the two sample spaces. Whereas for a dice, rolling the dice, what are the sample spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the sample spaces. If I indicate something within the curly braces, what are those called as? What are those called as? What are those called as? You people would have learned something called as sets. Union of sets, intersecting of sets, A minus B, A plus B, A dash, intersection B dash. All those things you people would have learned, no? 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 Who are not telling it no? Are you all serious?
Sir, repeat.
Sets ಅನ್ನ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಕಲಿತೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ರೋಸ್ಟರ್ ಫಾರಂ ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡರ್ ಫಾರಂ
ನಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Okay. So if you indicate anything within the curly braces, that is called as set of those terms. For now, for this chapter, that much is enough. Okay. So this form is called as roster form, or it is called as tabular form. Tabulating, you're tabulating the data. So it is called as tabular form. Just remember it as such. Okay. Very need to remember what the sets chapter. So when you indicate this, this is called as the set of sample space. Yes? Is it calling set of sample space? Yes. So first you have to write a sample space for it. First you will write what? Random experiment. What kind of random experiment is it? Then you will write what is the sample space, followed by the number of elements in the sample space. We indicated by a small n of s. Number of elements. What are the number of elements? 1, 2. There are 2 elements in the sample space. There are 2 elements in the sample space. And one that you observe here. There are 2 elements in the sample space. Yes? So now, the first thing what they have asked is, getting the head up. Question only. Probability of getting the head. So first event I will take it as getting head.
So what's the name?
Getting head. I am taking a variable. A is called getting head. So how many times you can get a head in a coin? Once. Okay. So what is the probability? The number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes. So B of E is equal to, can you write that formula again? Number of favorable divided by number of possible. How can I indicate this as? N of A divided by N of S. What is it? 1 by 2. Photo frame only, right? Up. And answer is what I'm going to sir.
Sir, A
is a variable I'm considering for getting there. You can consider it as X, Y, Z, M for money. You can consider like that also. We have no issues. Variables doesn't feel bad just because it is having your name in the starting letter. Tell me once you're done.
No sir.
Done?
No sir.
That is why you will be done. Because you won't listen to the class. You will be always writing the notes. What is your issue? Tell me. No issues. No.
I have
What?
You told you have an issue, so I told I have an issue.
You have a issue.
What did it? What?
Okay, there is a continuation in the same question. They have also asked us in the last clause, also find the probability of getting tail. I will take probability of getting tail as V. Probability of getting tail. So, what is the probability n of B is equal to 1. So, P of E is equal to, again write the formula, n of B by n of S which is equal to 1 by. Done. Are you feeling the chapter to be easy? Yes. Yes, the formula is the calculus for the mechanics. Is there one formula? They are only doing that formula. Adu execution balance containment. This is the only formula we will be using.
Sir, but what pronouncing?
Correct, sir. Behuna. Sir, sir.
पेपर में अपनी तभी लिखेगी ना सिंपल करेक्शन के यार बोर्ड का ना नॉट यू अरे अपनी तभी ना सिंपल बताना लगे हां बताना ये हैंडराइटिंग बता दो और जरा स्टोन पे बोलता मनी घंटा में
ओके क्या कर रहे हो
formula
Yes, next. We still have time. We'll collect there. We'll continue the class. We'll go for example 2. A bag contains. Is that the one? Yes. A bag contains. Is that the one? You want to turn that side? Which cut to occur side? Permanent activities. You are turning that side, sir. What is the angle he is sitting? See over there.
Chair is 90 degree.
Example number 2. Example number 2. Write down the question. The bag contains the red ball. Very. And here this first question is done. Yes, copy the question. Start writing what is the sample space.
Sir, answer only written ella.
ಹೌದಾ
Answer ಇಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು
ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾಟಕ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ
ಸೇರ್ತಿ ಮಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ
Yes.
yes sir
Others to writing game here. If in case the ex-teacher is using the line, let them use that which use.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
Okay. Can we start with the question?
1 minute
The bag contains the red ball, a blue ball, and a yellow ball. All the balls are being the same size. Kritika takes out the ball from the bag without looking into it. What is the probability? She takes out the yellow ball, red ball, and the blue ball. So, can you tell me the sample space out here?
sir random sir random sir
Example. You will write the random experiment. No,
picking the ball
picking the balls. That is very important, ba?
sir picking a ball sir
Choosing the balls. Write whatever you want from the random experiment. That is for your reference. We write random. We won't value it random. Sample space.
yes
One R, one B, one Y.
Y.
Sir, can't you say R?
How many? How many are? How many blue? How many yellow?
sir what about attendance sir
Yeah. ಸರಿ expert. ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ ನಾವು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಸರ್
You write like this. This is how you have to express your answers. ಅದೇ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತಿಕೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರ.
ಏನ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು
ನಂಬರ್ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್.
ಸರ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
Idiots.
2 seconds in more
ಸರ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಹಾ?
ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ x ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1x ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಅದೇ ತರ.
N of S is equal to
3.
3. I will take A to be
yellow.
red first.
ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ
Yellow na first ಕೇಳಿರೋದು.
Yes,
ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಒಂದೇ ಬರೋದು.
ಸರ್ ಲೈಫ್
1 by 3.
So N of A will be 1. So P of the event will be N of A divided by N of S, which is equal to 1 by 3. Clear? Doubt?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, similarly, I will take B to be
N of B. N of reds.
B to be red. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು?
ಸರ್ ಸೂಪರ್.
N of B is equal to 1. So P of E is equal to N of B divided by N of S, which is equal to 1 by
3.
3.
Again, C is equals to.
Next is Noda.
Yes, sir.
ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮೋನಿಕಾ. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಈಸಿ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿಲ್ಲ.
Okay, sir.
ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Easy day, sir.
ನಾನು
Statistics, what is there?
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಲವರು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿತಿರುತ್ತೆ.
ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ
Yes, we will get that.
Greater than Kashta, sir.
Blue. N of C is equal to 1. P of E is equal to N of C divided by N of S, which is equal to 1 by
3.
clear up. Doubts?
No, sir.
Doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we have too many examples from here, right?
no.
Yes.
13 examples. Then what is the first
Sir, we don't know much 5 seconds.
ಸರ್ ಇವಿಡು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವಶ್ಚನ್
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್.
There is only one exercise. No.
Yes, sir.
Let's go for it. Let's finish it off today.
Okay, sir. Then, sir, 5 minutes of question.
For example and experiment.
Example number 3. Example number 3. Is it the same example? Suppose we throw a die once. What is the probability of getting a number greater than 4? And what is the probability of getting a number less than or equal to 4? Okay. So random experimenters throwing the dice or rolling the dice. Okay. So what's the sample space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So let me consider A to be greater than 4. Okay, before that, I should write N of S now.
Sir, random. We should